Philly fam. Back.
What's good, Philly family? We back at it, man. Pre-draft night, pre-draft eve, draft eve, however you want to call it. That's what we at. And we're gonna get into some business tonight, but possibly got a special guest coming through. You know what I mean? Until then, we doing business, man. Obviously, everybody wondering, how the draft gonna turn out. So I see it's a few people in here, man. If y'all want to drop some comments, man, and tell me how you feeling about the draft, how you feel the draft will be going for your team. I don't know if everybody in the video is Eagle fans or whatnot, but if you hear and you know what I mean, you want to leave a comment of who you think your team may draft at their presumed spot at this moment. It's an interesting time of the year, man. Everybody's getting better. Everybody's getting the opportunity to see their team draft young guys that they possibly get the opportunity to watch grow into great players, man. We have a long list of players that became Philadelphia Eagles that everybody's hoping and happy to see grow. Obviously, the last few years we've took some guys that people are very excited about their growth. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. Uh, Obviously, this last year, Cooper DeJean. We obviously took Quinyon Mitchell at 22. So it's some young guys for every team that guys are obviously very happy and very excited to get a chance to see grow, see them mature, see their game expound. See them become masters at their craft, man. So every team has a guy. Every place has their guy. Their one guy that they looking at right now that they want to draft in this upcoming draft that they want to see become a part of their organization. Um, we're at obviously the Eagles. We're at 32. We're not at the greatest spot, right? We're not at the greatest area of this thing where you get a opportunity to really pick from the litter of the top guys, right? So you're on a hope and a dream at 32. Let's be honest. It's a hope and a dream at 32 where you hoping this guy fall, you evaluating that guy, but it's not always gonna be the way you see it. So, it's always a multitude of guys that you should have on your list. You get an opportunity to evaluate, watch film. You get to look at their draft grades. Some people like RAD scores. Some people want to look at their production in college over the span of 3 years. Um, but it's a vacuum seal of what you get the opportunity to really know about a guy. You never get to really evaluate the player until he's on the NFL field because every level of competition changes the game, right? You never get a clear line of sight of who that player is until he's taking snaps for your team, until he's at that threshold. Because guess what? You have guys come in, uh, first rounders, second rounders who don't pan out, right? But you had them high on your list. You had a lot of, angst about getting them on the field, really getting them the opportunity to play. And sometimes they turn out. Sometimes they, what's good, Aaron? Sometimes they turn out. Sometimes they pan out. Sometimes they are the player that you desire to be on your team. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're bust. Sometimes they're not going to be good players. Sometimes they're going to be role players. It's a lot of rounds in the draft. It's 1 through 7. And then you got the guys that don't get drafted that come in as UDFAs. There's a lot of guys rotating in and out of the NFL yearly. What's up, Doomsday? Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. So we at a point now, man, where like the Eagles, obviously in a division where you don't get the opportunity to repeat a lot, where you don't get the opportunity to really run it back, are trying to build something consistent. I think we're in a good situation. So, we've been having conversations. Obviously, everybody's having draft talk. You're talking about a multitude of players, right? I mean, we today had a conversation where it led into some new players getting added to the list. Some guys that possibly didn't get properly evaluated. Some guys that we probably didn't think about bringing in. Right, Kevin Winston Jr. Some of these guys, man. Listen, Aaron, it's a probability though, right? But we had a conversation today. Let me ask you this: if we got to 32, and obviously, I appreciate it, bro, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat for sure. Doomsday, you always been tapped in with your boy. Let me ask y'all a question though. If we got to 32, right, and the opportunity presented itself, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen, please don't hit me up and say Smitty said such and such is gonna be available at 32. But if we got to 32 and Will Johnson and Malachi Starks sitting there available, who do we go with? I think it's an opportunity, man, in this draft, like where how we could trade up, how we could trade. We have a lot of trade capital. I think we already have a lot of trade capital, Doomsday. I think we sitting in prime real estate. I don't think it's really a need to move forward or backward, right? I think if you wanna do it right now, right? You wanna tap in, you wanna get whoever at 32, you got the opportunity to trade some players, trade some picks. You can move up from 32. Like I could see us moving somewhere in the 20s. And I really think it's not a bad idea. I think moving into the 20s and really taking the top player that's on our list. Obviously, we've been having the opportunity the last few years to kind of get the guy on our list. So I think if we can really move up, I think, man, this draft is gonna be interesting. I hope everybody tapping in with us tomorrow night. It's gonna be me and my boy Steph. Steph is a Cowboy fan, but we gonna be in here, and I'm gonna be anxious, man. I'm not gonna have the reaction I had last year. I did have a pretty crash out moment um, over a player that I particularly thought would have been a good fit for us, but you know what I mean. It worked out. It worked out. Shout out to Cooper DeJean. Shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. Shout out to all the young guys that are getting the opportunity to grow in the NFL right now that people maybe didn't think highly of. Um, I want to know who's on our board. I really would like to know the guys that we're evaluating 1 through 5. Just give me the top 5. Really tell me where we're going. Like, I really would like to know who's the top 5 guys on the list. I think if we look at the all 30 visits, you get a view. But we also know Howie Roseman is not a guy that just puts his cards on the table and shows you his whole hand because you think that's a good idea. I don't think, you know what I mean, it's gonna be that easy because he brought in 5 first round graded talents that those are the top 5 guys on the list. Um, but I do think it gives you a broad spectrum. Of the 30, the top 30 visits. Um, I'm gonna look and see what was our top 30, and we're gonna see how this went. But I think it's a little bit interesting how we did this. So far in the top 30, you know what I mean, first round grades, Malachi Starks, Josh Connery for uh offensive tackle, Donovan as a rookie, edge, Walter Nolan, D tackle, Nick Scorton, D edge, Trey Amos, cornerback. Um, these guys they're saying are second round guys. So Wyatt, Marcus Mimbu, Donovan Jackson, Kevin Winston Jr., Tyleek Williams, T.J. Sanders, Shamar Turner, Maxwell Harrison. Now, obviously, we know the Eagles are known for, like, let's be honest. We know that the Eagles are known for building defensive line. So when you look at it, you see a lot of D linemen, a lot of O linemen in that mix. You see what? One, two, three, four DBs. Um, so it tells you that they are searching for a DB in this draft. You got 2 cornerbacks and 2 safeties. Now, in my opinion, I think safety's a bigger press of need than cornerback. But I think if you come out of this draft with, okay, Aaron, I'll take your assumption that you think we get Malachi Starks. If you come out of this with Malachi Starks and Maxwell Harrison, um, I think we'd be in a good situation. But this is this is this is the time of the year where Eagle fans get a chance to be excited. We don't have to kind of worry about players of need. We have positions of need or any of that. We worry about BPA. Who's going to be available at 32, and that's kind of the angst with us, right? When you win a Super Bowl, when you're in a Super Bowl, when you're running late into the playoffs, when you're those last 4 or 5 teams left on the board, when you get in the draft, you're in the territory of if the guy that was on your board is gone, you're kind of scrapping at the bits because if nobody's calling the trade up, if nobody's calling the trade with you at all, right? If that phone's not ringing, you're stuck in a position where if you wanted to move, let's say for instance you're at 12 and you want to move back, nobody's calling the pick at 12 because the board is falling in favor of them, right? So you stuck in a situation of what? You look at the board, okay, the 20th, let's say for instance, the guy you want on your board isn't the top guy on your board. He's maybe the 15th guy on your board because it's guys on your board that you obviously don't have a 12th overall pick for. You might have them rated at another number, and now you might have to take that player because you don't believe your next pick they'll be available. But that is the best player you need on the board, right? I think we're in a good spot. I think we could trade up. I think we can trade out. I don't want to trade out. I kind of do want a first round pick, but I understand if we trade out. It's a deep draft. The more the merrier. What's up, Cool Cat? The more picks, the merrier, right? It's a lot of players that can solidify your lineup. And maybe if the board isn't falling right, and on draft night I'm sitting here, I'm watching it. Okay, the guys that I thought maybe should have been picked a little higher on the board are falling, and then they start to go on a run of guys like, okay, boom, boom. Maybe we get to 29, 28, and the the value of the player that we possibly want at that position is no longer there. Can we move forward? Um, it's a lot of opportunities in this draft. Obviously, a lot of people like Walter Nolan. A lot of people like Nick, even Rory. A lot of people like Donovan Ezeruke. A lot of people like uh, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks. It's a slew of guys that people want to see in Eagle Green. Obviously, there was an obsession with Abdul Carter, but he's to me out of reach. I don't see us trading capital to move um, all the way to the top of the list. I just don't see it. I don't see us making those moves. It's too much capital to move. You would have to more than likely move 28 spots. That's not happening. That's not happening. But I do have a little bit of a concern. I think not a concern. I think Dallas Goddard could be waivered on draft night. I think this could be an opportunity where you've been looking to kind of see what his capital was. You kind of been weighing what he weighs up to on the board, and you want to understand what's going on. So you've been talking to some teams. You've been evaluating what they're willing to give up. You get in the draft, and the board is falling in your favor, where your guy might fall to, let's say, 22. Would you guys be okay taking a Dallas Goddard, taking a third rounder next year, and swapping our first to move up 10 spots? Or maybe even having to give up an extra pick, like a fifth round pick or something like that? Will we get a chance to move up 10 spots in the first round? And maybe, obviously, everybody would assume it would be, you know, Malachi Starks, but maybe it's Will Johnson. I mean, it's a lot of guys on this list, man, where you really can make a move. But if it's Malachi, right, solidify the safety spot. And then we have, you know, to bring in. I don't think we have to bring in starting talent for the cornerback two spot, but I do want to bring in competition. I was having a conversation with my guy Dev earlier. We was kind of saying, me, Dev, Beezy, a couple of the guys on Twitter. We were having a conversation earlier, and we were just kind of all in agreement that bringing in some competition at that cornerback two spot to just not give Keely Ringo the spot, but to make him earn it. You want to see him gain the opportunity and show you that he's ready to be on the field. You don't just want a guy to just be thrown out there. Because obviously, coming off a Super Bowl, you're trying to pretty much do your best to get back, and you want to replicate what you were able to do last year. But there's guys that aren't here from last year, so you want to bring in talent to kind of restore that. Um, and we get into that point where Howie Roseman is on a roll, where he is able to like really tap in, and he's really been hitting. Obviously, you want to continue to hit. Obviously, today, we traded for a guy in Jahan Dotson from the Commanders. Um, he didn't get a lot of ample opportunity. Obviously, he came here with no camp, came here with no recollection of nobody here on this team. He just came in, jumped in. Big ups to him. He made some fantastic plays throughout the season. Obviously, in the biggest game, made a couple of plays where he kind of did his thing. Fifth year option did not get picked up. So he's on a contract year. Next year, he will be a free agent. That tells me one or two things. Either he's working to be an Eagle as a wide receiver 3. Yeah, appreciate that, Aaron. He's working to be a wide receiver 3 in a contract year. So obviously, the number for him isn't extremely high already. He hasn't had a lot of production in the NFL, so he's gonna get a chance to do his thing, right? We're gonna get a chance to see a young guy work for an opportunity to get a contract, and if he can get the contract, then we all set. But um, we're gonna see, man. It's just it's a chance, man. So we did not accept the 5th year option, so he will be playing for a contract this season. I don't know if there's contract talks or extension talks on the table. It doesn't seem like he's earned that, but I think at the end of the season there will be talks with him about moving forward. If he can step up and kind of move in that road. That's why I think um, there has been conversation about Dallas Goedert leaving the Eagles because you have a few opportunities to put guys in better positions to be successful. And if you can do that, then you tap into a new element, right? But we got to see. We have to see how it goes. It hasn't necessarily been set in stone yet that that's what they'll be able to do. But we trying to see. You know what I mean? We're trying to see what they will be able to do here in the foreseeable future. So we're setting up for the long ride, and it starts yesterday. I mean, let's be honest. It starts yesterday. Like it started a week ago. Jalen Hurts came out and I guess told somebody he only took 4 days off from Super Bowl to getting back in the lab. And I posted GOAT mentality because I thought it was a good thing to see, right? Because that tells me exactly what I already knew about him. That his only ambition out here, man, his only desire is winning. The fancy stats don't matter. The MVPs won't matter. The all pros maybe matter, but I don't think they matter. I think the only thing that matters for Jalen Hurts at the end of the day is the main thing: trophies and trophies. Like he wants to be on the big stage, and I heard somebody say, in a way, and I kind of thought it was interesting. They said, um, Jalen Hurts doesn't perform in the regular season. He performs on the biggest stage. They were trying to use it as a knock, and I asked the question. I was like, so if he only has to perform in one game a year, and it was to win Super Bowls, and he showed up every time, would that not make him one of those guys? Because I thought the biggest stage was supposed to shine bright and it's supposed to make you not be able to stand up in the paint. So you're telling me he doesn't play well all year, but when the biggest stage, the biggest lights, the biggest performance is needed, he comes out on top. And where are we at with this? And then it comes down to a time where like we're having an argument about a team, the Philadelphia Eagles, which we're talking about draft, who has over the past years as an organization drafted well. And I'm not saying every draft or every player was well, but have drafted ultimately well, where majority of the team was built through the manufacturing of the old fashioned way, the draft. To now, they developed them well. We are considered a different, like, we're not considered a good team or a dynasty team, or let's say for instance one of those prestige franchises amongst the fan bases. But like, the proof is in the pudding. Every year we go in the draft, we make multiple picks, multiple players. And if you look at the roster outside of Jahan Dotson on the offensive side, Jahan Dotson, Mekhi Becton, uh, Saquon Barkley, and AJ Brown. That roster is drafted. That's 8 players that on that starting roster, the Eagles drafted and developed. And on the defensive side, I mean, Reed Blankenship wasn't drafted, but he was a UDFA that came on this team, right? Um, CJ Gardner Johnson was not drafted to the Eagles, so I can't take Darius Slay was not drafted to the Eagles. Um, and then Zach Bond was not drafted by the Eagles. I think you got the same amount, right? You got 8 players brought in here by the Eagles, drafted by the Eagles, and developed by the Eagles to be a team that is competing every year for the playoffs, for the Super Bowl. They are perennial playoffs contenders until proven otherwise. And at this point, we're Super Bowl champions until proven otherwise. And to have a successful run back, to have a successful chance at getting back-to-back Super Bowls, you have to go into this draft tomorrow on Thursday, and you have to hit on a few of these guys to come in and kind of maintain the ship. You've lost some of your key guys. You've had some guys leave. Milton Williams, salute. Josh Sweat, salute. Darius Slay, salute. Um, there's some guys gone. CJ Gardner Johnson was traded. Mekhi Becton signed with the Chargers. We lost some pieces. We did. We lost some fundamental pieces that you may not get back. You may not replace this year. You may not the whole production, right? But you want to bring in some guys that can alleviate those guys that are here from having to take on a substantial load, because that's not how it worked. You stick to the formula, you stick to the plan, so you can get back to the Super Bowl. And there's a lot of teams that's on that path, right? Obviously you heard the comments of the Cowboys. Obviously, you think about a team like the Commanders, who are in the NFC Championship game. Obviously, the teams that have quarterbacks that they've paid, Jaguars, Dolphins, Bengals, uh, Bills. I mean, just to name a few. Like, if you paid your quarterback for a multi-year deal at the top of the market, you're expecting to be in Super Bowls and playoff games late into the season, where you're competing for NFC and AFC championship games. And if that's not the goal, then I understand that. But most teams that are out here that are putting their money and investing their time into getting better every day are looking to win Super Bowls. And at the end of the day, that's all you can look forward to. You can only look forward to trying to get better and trying to win Super Bowls. But the draft is where it starts. Obviously, free agency is seeming to be first, but if we get into the nitty gritty, all the free agents started in the draft. And that's where we're at. We're at the draft. It's draft time. It's really draft time. Tomorrow night we will be live. We will be drafting as a family, I mean, I won't be doing any more mocks. The mocks is over. You know what I mean? We will be in a situation where we're watching the board fall for the next 3 days. If you are interested in these type of things, I'm not saying every fan will be watching, but if you're interested in the draft, this is what you'll be watching. This is what you'll be tapped into. You'll be looking at the new guys that are coming in to help your franchise try to win championship. And not because you draft, this year are you looking to win championships this year, but you're looking to win. You're looking to win, and you're looking to build towards winning. Obviously, every team that's in the top five we watched last year with the Commanders. Shout out to them. Go from being a top five team in the draft to NFC Championship, where this year they're picking nowhere close to where they picked last year. They're at 29, if I'm not mistaken. But they only have a select few drafts. Will they be able to hit on a draft? Will they have the opportunity to select their their draft picks? Will they trade out of the first round? It's a lot of opportunities in my eyes for Howie Roseman to make some calls. And I don't know. I don't know who's on the list. Like, right? I just told you we can look at the guys we brought in for the time being, but um, we have to wait and see. Hold on, real quick, y'all. Give me a second. But yeah, we lost some pieces with how we gonna fit tomorrow night. I mean, it's only so many picks. I mean, it's only so many picks you get. You only get a few. So obviously, hopefully, we can tap into that though. Hopefully, we whew, man. I hope. I just hope we take BPA at that play. I hope that player really helps. Get us to where we need to be at. It's interesting though. It's interesting though. So it's 32 teams, 32 picks, 7 rounds, compensatory picks, which we rolling in the gang of them. We rolling the gang of picks, rolling in the, what I mean, like when you really look at it, if you have evaluated the talent 1 through 7 properly, I mean, there is a loaded draft in front of you with a lot of players that you can pick from. Um, and I don't know like who's on the board at this point, but like really, man, I just think about the opportunities we have, the players we have that we can draft from. Like, yeah, man. Um, Mix up on the time. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, Aaron. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, my special guest get a chance to pop in here, man. We get to talk. We get to talk some ball here soon. I think it was a mix up on the time, but it's interesting, man. It's interesting. That's where we at, man. It's a state of divisions. Uh, the NFL is at a state of division because you're looking at every man for themselves. Every man is drafting, what I mean, solo. Every man is drafting to build their team. You don't really get an opportunity to draft uh, like this every year. We're looking at the Eagles and we're looking at the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Giants. We're looking at all the teams that get a chance to compete. Tampa, there's some team like that's a team I watch. You know what I mean? Tampa. They seem to have our number. We obviously played them again this year. But you got to look at that division because the guys in your division are building to beat you, and you have to stay up with the time. You have to stay building as you go, and you have to keep your head on a swivel because everybody around you is getting better, and everybody now you have a target on your back. You have the target. You're fighting. You're fighting for you know relevancy every year, playoffs every year. You have to compete. You have to build. You know what I mean? And obviously, we build D line trenches first, and then we move out. You know what I mean? Then we start to build, the outside. And I think finishing building our secondary should be key priority going into this draft. Solidifying that because the offense obviously has been solidified. We signed Cam Jurgens. We paid, a guy who came in, played up to the potential, outplayed the potential, gave Eagle fans something to continue to be happy about because obviously a lot of people were anxious with, Kelsey leaving out this building. Nobody knew how it was gonna fall. So it probably didn't fall in favor, but it fell well because guess what? He got paid 4 years, 68 million. Uh, we just locked up another piece of our offense through 2029, which we now have multiple players that are locked up through 2029, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we interested in doing. We're trying to get to that spot. Um, but it's gonna be a heart rushing night because you gotta watch 31 teams draft before we get to our spot. But we're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna have some guys in here, man. We're gonna be sitting back, relaxing, talking ball, evaluating players. We're gonna be giving you our live feedback on how we feel about every pick because that's what we do, man. That's what we do at 4133 the podcast, man. We talk ball. Waiting on my special guest. Hopefully he chop in. If he don't, we'll reschedule, man. We'll jump back in here another time, man, and really talk it. But um, I'm working on some things, man. I'm working on some things to get y'all right, man, because I owe y'all a better experience, man. I owe y'all more insight on what's going on behind the scenes because that's what y'all come to talk to Smitty about because it's really talking ball. So things are on the way. Working on it. I did get it. Remember I told y'all a few months ago, but I did get the computer. I did get some things worked out. So things are moving smoothly. I have to set up some things on my end so I can give y'all I want to give a new look to this podcast, man, where y'all are owed something better, man. So this upcoming season is gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. Um, but tomorrow night we're gonna get on the stage, man. We're gonna sit back and watch Roger Goodell in the NFL in Wisconsin Green Bay draft. 32 players will be picked tomorrow night. Will you be picked? Will you be picked to the destination that fits you best? Will you be there for the team that desires you most, that you fit the most? Because obviously, every player isn't going to be drafted to the best scenario, to the best place. It never happens. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I want to know what Howie has on the board, man, because obviously Howie is, what I mean, well versed in doing this. I mean, he has really locked in, really tapped in. Hold on, real quick. For sure, it's got to play out well. All right. Yeah, man. So tomorrow night, we're gonna be live. As soon as the draft kick off, we'll be here already. Got a few good friends coming through. Hopefully, we can get my guy Andre on, man. He's a Giants fan, but he's really tapped into that NCAA scene. He's really well, you know what I mean. His intelligence about the college game runs deep. He's an Alabama fan in the college game, so obviously he has a love hate relationship as a Giants fan, as a Alabama fan with Jalen Hurts. But he talks highly of Jalen. He talks highly of Devontae Smith. So hopefully he can tap in. But right now he's going through some things. So send out prayers to my bro, man. Hopefully his kid and his wife get a chance to feel a little better. I talked to him yesterday. He was telling me, he was going through a few things where he was traveling back and forth, to make sure his kids and his family was good. So send out some prayers for him, man. Obviously, I don't care about them Giants, but I care about him as a person. But the Giants, he sent out no prayers. I don't hope you fumble, but I hope you tripping. You know what I mean, a little bit. You know what I mean, just stumble over your toe. You know what I mean, just a little bit. I don't want you to fumble the pick all the way. Maybe you could pick the wrong guy just a little bit. I mean, you picked Daniel Jones, so we you know what I mean, we got a little hope. We got a little hope. They ain't the same organ, you know what I mean, but we got some hope. But nah, man. All jokes aside, uh, we looking at the draft at a wide mirror size at this point, man. It's on a large TV screen for the world to see, and how we been good. I ain't have to say nothing. I ain't have to say nothing crazy about the draft picks over the last. I guess since the Devontae Smith draft, so four drafts for going into the fourth draft. You can't really say nothing bad about the picks. And obviously you got a guy like Jalen Hunt who breaks out, but the DN room, since we here, right? Since we here, Nolan Smith, Josh Uche, Azeez Ojolari, Jalen Hunt. Obviously, I think we still bring in some guys into that room, but I see a lot of people putting it as a priority. Do we prioritize going into this draft bringing in a DN over bringing in a DB? I think the four guys we have in that rotation with maybe a third rounder or second rounder. I mean, if you're that's why I want to know how the board is, because if your first guy is sitting at 25, I understand us trading up to go get him because that's just how it happens. Um, but trenches is first. But I think we have a slew of guys that can produce, that can come in and with the right training, the right guys, I think we can get them. I ain't gonna say top of the list, top of the charts, but they can be somewhere in the middle. They could be somewhere manageable. Um, Obviously, Jordan Davis, we don't know what's going on right now with his 5th-year option. I think they have till May 1st to pick it up. If not, he'll also be on a contract year. Got Jalen Carter, Moro Jomo. I think last year we brought in UDFA Gabe Hall. Um, and then I guess you look at linebacker from that point. You look at linebacker, you have Jeremiah Trotter. I think you brought back Ben Van Summerman, but I think he's going to be playing more fullback than linebacker. Zach Bond, and then that area is a little light with Nakobe Dean being out with injury and not being sure if he's exactly going to be ready. And then when is he going to be ready? If obviously he'll be ready this season, but when will he be ready is more the pressing need, the pressing question. So, safeties, you have Reed Blankenship, Tristan McCullum, and Sidney Brown. In the DB room, you have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo. So I don't know. When you looking at the players on paper, obviously you look at the DNs. You got a couple guys that haven't had a lot of production in the last few years. They've been kind of on some teams where they weren't able to get a lot of playing time, a lot of snaps, so they were stuck. And then you got uh, I forgot. Adoree Jackson is also in that DB room, man. Adoree Jackson. He came from over from the Giants. I don't know. I don't know what he has left in the tank. I don't know what he has left in the tank. But hey, man, that special guest is gonna pop on. He gonna be here in 2 minutes, man. We're gonna get to talk some ball. We really finna chop it up, man. But I forgot we brought in Adoree Jackson. So looking at the DB room, looking at the safety room, looking at the linebackers. I don't know where we at. I don't know where we at as a team as far as need, or if there is a pressing need. I think it's kind of all up in the air right now for the Eagles. So we can get a chance to really see how it goes, man. But tomorrow night we drafting. Jesus, it feels so good because it felt like going late into the playoffs. You get to this point of the season, you like, oh, it's February. draft in April, it's gonna fly by. And then it feels like it's been April for 6 months and March for 8 months. And it felt like February went fast, but March and April been a slow grind. But it's draft time, man. Everybody looking to get better. Hey Aaron, whoever, I mean, it's a few of us in here, man. If got a question, man. Who y'all think right now so far going into the draft has won free agency or the offseason awards, as we would say? Who would y'all say the team that has improved the most? I'm gonna go with I think the Bears um were the most effective of what they did. They were able to bring in offensive line pieces to really solidify that line. Where going into the draft, if you wanted to take a luxury piece like Genty, you had an opportunity to really tap in and take a guy that isn't necessarily, you know, probably valued in the NFL, as they say, at the 9th overall, 10th overall pick. But you can take a Genty because you solidified the line. You brought in, Tooney. You brought in a couple guys to really stack the deck for yourself to help Caleb, Ben Johnson, and that offense get better from last year. Like what we seen last year was putrid, but you had guys in there that weren't good coaches. And I think what we have learned over the time being here, I think over the time being here, we've learned that like good coaching makes the team run the way it's supposed to. It's supposed to be smooth. It's supposed to be operating at a high level. And when you're looking at some of these teams, I mean, it's been some coaching changes. It's been some player acquisitions. Obviously, you see like a DK Metcalf going to Pittsburgh, um, and then you hear rumors about George Pickens being on the wire. Um, you got Justin Fields going to the Jets to get his first start with them picking, I think, seventh in the draft with an opportunity to maybe bring in a dynamic offensive piece for him to work with, like a Tyler Warren, which is, where you see a lot of people mocking them at. And then you have the most interesting team of the offseason for me and the draft is the Colts. I think the Colts are in a sticky situation where a few years back, you drafted a quarterback, you were high on the value, you felt like his value versus his potential was effectively where you drafted him at appropriate. And then you sit back and you evaluate what he's done over the past, let's say, 2 seasons, right? He's been injured. He hasn't really been able to show you what he is as a quarterback yet. So he's in a situation where this year, if the quarterback that you have value or you know, falls, do you take him? Like at what are you at, 14 or 15, somewhere in there? Like, do you take a guy to solidify your job if you Shane Steichen? Do you want to build with Anthony Richardson or do you want to move forward? I don't know where they're at because it's an interesting spot to be sitting in because you have a guy where you drafted, but we've seen teams do it. And I'm not saying like the Broncos. I'm saying we seen the Cardinals do it. Didn't they draft Josh Rosen, trade him away, and draft Kyler Murray? Like you've seen guys get drafted early when the other guys on the team are there that have been drafted early. It doesn't cut off you being able to build your team because somebody is there unless they're contractually obligated where you can't get rid of them off the team. There's no way, and their funding doesn't make sense to have them on the bench. Interesting situation for them. I also I do agree with you, Aaron. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers going to draft have forced their hand because of their nonchalant attitude towards quarterback. Since Ben Roethlisberger has left that building, that's been a putrid room for them. And even the last few seasons of him being in the room was kind of subpar. He wasn't the greatest Ben Roethlisberger that we know. So it's interesting where we stand, right? It's interesting where we're sitting at. Um, you're looking at a lot of teams in a real quick moment having to be in a spot like Pittsburgh, right? Where you're sitting at 21. You pick late in the draft and you have a lot of real estate in front of you where you could move forward or backward to make your move to solidify a quarterback. Do you move up? Do you move up in front of a team like, let's say, for instance, if you had the opportunity, do you move up in front of, um, let's say, the Saints to get a Shador if he has technically fallen out of the first 5 picks? I don't know, but I am interested to see how it falls because I think looking at things uh, from one view is always easy, but trying to look at it from a multi-glass, a multi-sighted glass, it's just hard when you only got 2 eyes. I'm looking at it every way I can, but I can only see so much. Um, and you're looking at a team like the Bills, who obviously in an interesting situation where they compete every year. They go in a draft where they have also a luxury like the Eagles where they can pick a couple pieces to really make that team better, but they can go BPA. I don't think he falls to 21, Aaron, but I think they possibly have to trade up. I can see a couple teams in that bid war trying to trade up for a few players because they fell out of the top 8. Because I think yeah, the Saints pick at 9. The Saints pick at 9. So it's an interesting situation, man. It's an interesting draft. Lot of participants. Like when you think about it, 32 guys tapped in. We really looking at it from every angle we can. Um, Chargers situation is decent. I think the Raiders can do a couple luxury things at their spot. I think another team that's in a sticky situation is almost like the Patriots. I know they at 4, right? But like obviously they don't need quarterback because Drake May's off the board. You looking to probably bolster up with some elite talent. Um, and it's possible that the 2 guys you have 1 and 2 on your board at all season, you've kind of been probably predicting that you would get one or the other. Um, More than likely going to be going off the board. So do you go Mason Graham and something like that, maybe even a Will Johnson, or do you go to the other side of the ball and draft offensive line, another receiver? Obviously, if you have a receiver ranked that high, you would go receiver probably. Offensive line has has been under the microscope for a few years that they haven't performed well. So do you attack the offensive? Like, it's some teams that are gonna have good bad situations where there's gonna be multiple players that fit the scheme that could help you get better. You're gonna have to pick between those players who's going to be better. And obviously, you know how this works in the NFL. Those players' careers will be intertwined forever. The one that goes in front of the other one, they will be talked about forever. All the guys picked in front of whoever it is it'll be a discussion. Um, Obviously the Eagles have 2 blunders in back-to-back years where we took Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson and we took JJ Arthur-Whiteside over DK Metcalf. Two blunder seasons, but I guarantee you, you sit down, you have a conversation with any Eagle fan that you know, and she'll tell you that they wouldn't change the way it went. Obviously, it hurts. Yes, Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league, but I wouldn't right now be upset that I have AJ Brown, who's also top 3. I think we're in an interesting situation where the boat is kind of up and down, man. Where you kind of don't know how the draft is rolling. You kind of don't know how the first. I can't even say outside of the Titans. Maybe you get a chance to say Travis Hunter's going 2, maybe Abdul 3, but it's interesting because it's a lot of guys getting smoked, and it's a time where if you haven't been elevated in the draft, you could get a magical push because they're interested in what you bring to the table. I don't know who the Eagles draft at 32 or who the Cowboys draft at their pick or Commanders at 29 or Giants at 3. But I do know this. Um, to continue to win, to continue to get better, you have to draft good. You have to hit. You have to hit on a few of these picks. Um, whether it's D line, whether it's cornerback, whether it's safety, whether it's I mean, even if somehow something I don't see happens where we drive maybe an offensive lineman in the first, whatever is available at 32 is a difficult gauge, right? It's a difficult way to evaluate and see who's going to be available because you don't know. You don't know. Obviously, we didn't even see Quinyon Mitchell being available at 22. We didn't see Cooper DeJean being available in the second. We didn't see Jalen Carter being available when we're sitting at 10 for a trade up at 9. We probably didn't see Nolan Smith being there at 30. We had to make a haste decision and trade for AJ Brown. We had to make a haste decision and trade after moving around in the draft multiple times. We seized our opportunity to trade up with the Cowboys to take Devontae Smith. Um, it's been a relay race, man, and you have to keep up every year in, every year out. You have to keep bringing in good draft players, good draft pieces, and you have to develop because guess what? You can draft all these good players if you want. If you don't have good coaching and a good scheme, and you can't fit these guys in, and you can't develop these guys, you're not gonna get what you need out of them. And division by division, man. I hope we can see. Hold on, real quick. Let me get this. All right, so yeah, we working on getting things together. Um, getting this guy here, but I'm hoping we can do something to really solidify this team, man. We should be in a good spot, man. But 32 teams, 7 rounds. Interesting situation that Brock Purdy in too, man. I see he hasn't signed a contract yet going into the draft. Maybe, it might be later into the season, but I see that report that Devontae Adams did contact them. His people did reach out and have some communications with them, but they tried to lowball the situation where he just cut off communications. Like it happens like that in the NFL, man. You never know your value, man, until you're on the market, man, and you talking to teams that want your services and you see what they're willing to offer. And guess what? These kids coming out of college, these young men, my bad, these young men coming out of college, they don't know what their value is yet. They don't know where they sit on the board, but it's gonna be interesting to see. It is gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's how we gonna sit and pick. It's how we gonna move. We gonna see soon. We're gonna see soon. In a few hours, or what? Less than 20. Well, we won't be picking in less than 24 hours. We'll be picking at the end of the draft. So we're still gonna be a long wait for us. It's still gonna be a long wait for the Eagles. But there's a lot of picks. Pay attention, man, because you can see a lot of things coming into this draft, man, where you can watch how teams are really trying to counteract what the Eagles did this past season by going to the Super Bowl. It's already in effect. You know, I've been talking highly of you know one of these guys we brought in. You know, what I mean, he gonna be stoutling you moving forward. We just got his exception. Um, interesting. 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 Obviously, Lane Johnson gonna be here. What 2 or 3 more seasons? So we're gonna get a chance to see Valkyrie transform. Man, we're gonna see what Stoutland can do with another rugby player. Elena, what's good? How are you this evening? Hopefully, man, everybody's having a good evening. Everybody's, relaxed, sitting back, man, enjoying their day, man. Hopefully, if you tapped in and you listening to Smitty right now, man, on 4133 the podcast, we appreciate you and your support. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. Because listen, when I turn up, I get this thing rolling. I get it rolling. I got plans. When I get it rolling, I want y'all all with me, man. Because y'all been riding with Smitty for a minute. We've been doing this. Appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all. Stay tapped in with me, man. Uh, the draft is coming though. The draft is coming, and we ready. We ready to see how it works out. Oh, okay, my bad. Off this week, birthday. Okay, yeah. So, quick question: while you here? Birthday on Saturday. That's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Who would be your first round dream? I'm, what I mean, birthday present. How would that work out? Who would be the person you take in the first round that would make you enjoy your birthday? Our birthday is 31 days apart, Atlanta. 31 days. It's kind of crazy. 31 days. I can't wait, man. This year, I'm gonna enjoy it this year, man. I haven't really been on the birthday tip lately because I think the last one I kind of it's probably like the year after COVID, after we came off lockdown. I think I went out. I think I did something for that birthday, but outside of that year, kind of just been laying back, man. I think you know with this podcast thing, man, tapped in with y'all, man. It's enjoyable, but it's more enjoyable when I enjoy it with my peoples, man. So I be here, I be hanging out with y'all, putting in work. I like being in the lab, man. So I'm trying to work on some things to really get it cooking though, because it's a lot of avenues that we haven't covered yet as a podcast that we can't get to. So live, obviously, this year I want to do a couple of live play by plays so we can really sit back, really chill, hang out. Listen, Elena, listen. It's a lot of things that can happen on this draft night that would send me into complete bliss. That would be one of them. Abdul Carter being an Eagle? Ridiculous. I wouldn't know how to act. I wouldn't know how to handle myself. That would be completely and utterly insane. That would whoa. That would be nice. That would be nice. But um realistically, I mean, obviously I don't think we get him. But our special guest has arrived, man. We finna tap in and talk some ball. So let me get him in here. Let's do it. T, what's good, man?
What up, bro?
Chilling,
Got my
man.
young boy in the back. He
Huh?
chilling, bro. I said I got my young boy in the back. He chilling though.
Oh, okay. But nah, man, what's good with you, man? We was talking a little ball, man. So how you feeling about going into this draft, man?
Honestly, I'm just interested to see what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? You hear the rumors. You know what I mean? You hear the speculation. You know what I mean? Wide receiver, running back, lineman, DN. You know what I mean? I'm interested for real. We even talking about trading, so I'm interested.
What's the if you could pick a player? Obviously, it's a slew of them. If you could pick a player to be there at your pick, I mean, obviously, who would it be?
Emeka Abuka.
Mr. Polished receiver. I think that's a good pickup for y'all, man.
I think he's the one that can come in and do everything we want him to do immediately at all phases of the game.
What about Tet? You don't like Tet being there?
I like that too. Like that's the one I hope we do get. Like that's the one because I like a big target for Dak. I like that big body frame, red zone. I feel like he'll be a great compliment to CD too. But I just like Emeka's heart, bro. He out there run blocking. You know what I'm saying? He makes the contested catches. We know the routes is crispy. And you know what I mean? We just see with those Ohio State guys what they produce. You know what I mean? The list is forever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's not like
they have
it's
built a list.
and it's all recent. And
Yeah.
niggas, and you know what I mean? You got guys that say, "Oh, well, always been a number two." Well, look who he's been a number two too. You know what I mean? They're all number ones in the league right now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what I mean? When you come from that, you train every day for that. I just know he's gonna come in and be a star, regardless of where he gets drafted at.
Yeah, I think obviously offensive help is needed on y'all team right now. A lot of speculation about y'all taking a running back. Uh, I know a lot of people like Ashton Genty, but I don't think that's the best fit for the Dallas Cowboys, right? I would take Amarion Hampton over him for y'all.
Honestly, I like Hampton too, and I take both of them. Uh, Jency, I like Jency, and I think you know what I mean. I think he is the better back just for the simple fact of his playmaking ability, like his ability to jump cut and you know what I mean, force those mixed tackles and you know what I mean, stay on balance through contact. Those are just things you just can't coach. You know what I mean? Even being a smaller guy, I am interested to see how, you know what I mean, he transitions to the league. But he might be a little small, but his frame is big. You know what I mean? If you've seen him, you know what I mean, recently or any pictures like that, his frame is huge.
No, I like him as a prospect. I think he is the better running back. But I think when you get down to the nitty gritty of what the Cowboys want to do on offense, as far as using the running back, multi down situations, putting them out in the flat, really, it's more. To be honest, let's be real. The offense is more surrounded about the passing game with Dak and CD running off the run game than it is giving somebody 30 carries. The Zeke days are over with. There won't be another guy come in there and get 35, 40 carries.
Honestly, we'll need 30 carries. We cool with 25. I mean, as long as we can get 100 rushing yards, over 100 rushing yards. You know what I mean? That's the magic number for real. Just being able to have balance. You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily need a 30. We just need to have balance.
Yeah, for sure.
I like like Jency. You play like I said, like electric. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean. You want that. You know what I mean? Uh, Being in the offense that we've seen last year with you know what I mean, without CD, without that, what it looked like. You know what I mean? That's an immediate upgrade. You know what I mean? That's a guy that we know can make plays, whether it be 30-yard run. I don't think Cowboys had a run over 30 yards last year. You know what I mean by a running back. Like that's crazy. We know Jesse gonna be able to do that day one. You know what I mean? So I think
Y'all didn't have a 30-yard run?
by a running back.
Oh, Mimbu. Ah, I think Mimbu. Let me hold on. Let me get this right. Obviously, PFF, PFN, ESPN, Todd McShay, all those guys got him rated second. I got him first. I got him over the LSU tackle. I think Mimbu is the best tackle in this draft. I think he should be a Patriot. Let's be real. That's my honest opinion.
You talking about both of Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want the Cowboys to go offensive line. I can't stress that enough.
Why though? You need it.
You need weapons.
But you need line help too, T.
We don't necessarily need line help. Why do you think we need line help?
Because, like, hold on. I know you set me up to go down this path of that old guy that retired. I know he didn't play. I know he didn't play a lot last year, but the guy that gave him breaks didn't play well last year. Tyler Guyton, hold on. Tyler Guyton, that tackle, didn't play well yet. So we're going to see what he does in year 2. He was a rookie. Cooper Beebe played well.
Yeah.
Smith played well.
Yeah.
But I think you have 2 spots where you could use elite talent to block for Dak. I think you could.
Listen, like, I feel you. I hear what you're saying. But, progression. You got to believe in that. Development. Now, you can't tell me. I looked at Tyler Guyton's film, and I was able to see what he was doing. So you can't tell me him and his trainer didn't sit down this offseason and say, look, this is what we need to work on. And I believe he did that. You know what I mean? I like Brock Hoffman when he came in for Zach Martin. I don't know about you, but you better turn that film on. My boy get nasty in them trenches. But I think he.
What did Jalen Carter do to Brock Hoffman when he was in?
Jalen Carter, a different beast. That's just what it is. You know?
Okay, Jordan Davis got off on him too.
He a different beast too. You know what I'm saying? He a different beast too. We not about to sit here and act like he drafted where he got drafted. You know what I mean? He didn't pan. Y'all thought he was.
I wasn't saying first round though, T. I wasn't saying first round, but I do think you could bring in some help. I ain't saying first round. We
bought in free agency help. You know what I mean? We made a trade. You know what I mean? We bought in some help. Now it's competition. Now I can also say we didn't have a coaching last year. People don't like to point that out, but our offensive line coach last year never coached the offensive line for real. He was coaching some other stuff. Same thing with our running backs coach. Like, we had coaches coaching out of position just because they was cool with Mike, and Mike wanted to make sure they had a job. Like, you know what I mean? We can't operate like that. That's why you see they got rid of all of that, and you see Brottenheimer, you see what he came in and brought. He came in and brought a high-quality staff. Now, we got to see it in motion. So, we got a great offensive line coach from Kansas State. If you think I'm capping, go look at
them. Pull me a little bit.
Man, listen, I'm just
pull me a little bit, man.
Like, listen,
I'm just trying to understand where you come from. So I need a little bit of the juice.
I wish I was drinking.
Nah, the Jerry juice. That's what I'm talking about.
Nah, bro, listen. I'm not going. I wouldn't sit here and cap to y'all. If I felt as though we made a bad hire, I would.
Schottenheimer.
Listen. I sat down and I spoke to the man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We had real conversation. You know what I mean? So I believe in him. You hear me? He made me a believer. Like, you know what I mean? But like, all right, I'll give you a little tea, bro. So, you know, me and Tad, you know what I mean? We do the podcast together. And before I even met Brian Schottenheimer, he was just like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, you're gonna love Shotty when you meet him. Just hearing that, and then meeting him, and then everybody that I've seen that met him, they all had the same type of impression, bro. Like, we feel as though we got a guy, and people act like he don't know what he's doing. Stop acting like his dad wasn't an all-time great. Like he's not top 10 all-time in wins. Like, he didn't grow up in that. Like, I hate that. Like, he finally got a shot. Yes. Now, everybody got to start somewhere. Now, is he in a high-pressure situation? Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, stop acting like he don't got talent on that team, man. If we go out there and run the ball, bro, and use play action, we're going to be able to protect Dak, bro. We can't protect Dak when we're going out there trying to pass the ball 45 times a game. We're going out there trying to pass 45 times a game with a rookie left tackle and a rookie center. And we sitting there watching these niggas load up on us. Load up the box with us and send everybody. Because they know. Like, you know what I mean? Running crazy stunts on us because they know, like, you know what I mean? They inexperienced, of course. You know what I mean? You're going to get that off. But my thing is, it's the coaching. Like, good coaches don't do that. You know what I mean? We got 2 rookie linemen. Run the ball. That's simple. Go hit somebody.
They had a running game, though.
You can't say we didn't have a run game when we didn't try to run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball until Dak got hurt. Go look at the stats. We didn't try to run the ball. Rico Dow didn't get a 25-carry game until that Pittsburgh game. That's the first time we tried to run the ball, that Pittsburgh game. Rico Dow had like 25 carries for 100+ yards, and we ended up winning that game that clutch time. That was the biggest win of the season that year. That was like the last one we got for a little minute after that.
I think the problem though is the room though. The room is bad.
And you can't say that, but you can't say that Pittsburgh front isn't official. And the fact that we was able to run on that Pittsburgh front let you know that we could really run the ball for real. They didn't want to run the ball. It was we paid Dak, so Dak got to produce. But that's not fair to Dak when he only got CD. You know what I mean? It'd be different if he had Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, and that A1 offensive line.
Hold on, y'all got Fergie now. Don't do Ferg like that now.
Pull up Ferg's numbers this year. And that's no disrespect to Ferg. I love Ferg. You know what I mean? I think
his numbers was bad because he played with Cooper Flush.
When he got hurt too, though. I mean, he got hurt earlier in the year, you know what I mean, with the knee, and I think that derailed this whole season. And people don't like to look at that. Like, we was a hurt-up club last year, you know what I mean, from the get-go. We lost Deron Bland and Sam Williams in the preseason, you know what I mean, from the get-go, from the gun bus. And then we just started dropping like flies after that. Like, people don't like to talk about that. But, like, you know what I mean, everybody was affected, you know what I mean. But I just
you might need some talent, but
you know
you need some offensive line help somewhere.
Nah, I don't think we need offensive line help, bro. We needed a scheme. That's what we needed, a scheme. You can't tell me our offensive line isn't as good as San Fran's offensive line, and you see what they've been able to do. They got one good lineman over there, for real. One. And a decent one.
Yeah.
It's all about scheme. For real. Like people don't like to talk coaching.
But Trent different.
Trent is different.
Trent different. He make 2 or 3. He made 2-3 on good though.
I'm dead.
He made 2 or 3 on good. He's like, hey, look, all you need to do is your job. I'm gonna do everything else.
But like it's about scheme though. Like they don't abandon the run. You know what I mean? Because when you abandon the run, you get one-dimensional. Now we can draw up them fancy blitzes. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them games, we one-dimensional. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can say, yeah, we down. But, like, damn, the defense was hurt up. So, like, yeah, like, we got to score. You know what I'm saying? Like, running the ball keeps the opposing team off the field. That's why y'all were so successful. That's why Washington was so successful. Y'all leading the league in longest drives. 10, 15 plays. You know what 10, 15 plays do?
You believe in them?
No.
Oh, I was just asking. They high. I mean, they high on their team.
They good. Don't get it messed up. They good. But that was a one-trick pony. Next year, with a tougher schedule and all of that, Dallas back healthy. Like, I don't know where all this, y'all fighting for last place. Are y'all out your mind? Like, for real, like
I think y'all fighting for second or third though.
I'll take that. But last place is crazy.
Nah, the Giants last place.
Crazy. Like, yeah, when niggas all that fight, come on, bro. Like, let's be realistic, bro. Stop acting like Dak isn't one of them. I hate that. Dak is one of them. Whether people
one of what? One of what?
Them.
Let's one of what?
One of them.
What is them? Him?
Top quarterbacks in the league. One of them.
Top. How far at the top?
Top 7. And there's no debate. And in my book, he's 5. So, yeah, I
ain't see that one coming. You stuck me with one there. Huh?
He's top 7, no debate.
I'll give him top 8.
Top 8. It's crazy.
Top 8. It's hard to evaluate somebody that didn't play that much last year. I gotta be fair.
I'm going off a body of work. And
I'm gonna say, you saying body of work. Okay, I give him top 7 body of work. But you know what sneaks up at the end.
Listen.
Playoff performance, as far as numbers wise,
man.
Hold on. The numbers have been what they've been. They've been decent. He hasn't been completely putrid as far as how he plays in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's the moments in the playoffs that people remember.
Yeah, see, but people say moments. I say look at the situations. When you know what I mean, like when you're being counted on to run the whole offense, I don't think people understand how much pressure that is. Like, and yeah, you can say pressure bust pipes, but it's just like imagine you being on a team like actually having to play quarterback, and you only have
That
one.
pulling up on you. Keep your eyes on the swivel.
Oh, I see you. And you only have one. You gonna come play with me for real? He only got one. He only got one guy to throw to that he really can trust. No run game. So when
but in them playoff runs, y'all had more than one guy though.
Not since Coop left. Tell me I'm lying.
Nah, but y'all had Buddy. God damn it. Where he went? The tight end. Nah, hell no. I ain't finna talk about no old dude. Cooks. The tight end. Dalton. Y'all had Dalton.
He was okay.
I liked it. No troll. I liked it, Dalton though. I thought the way y'all utilized him there compared to how they used him in the Texans was different.
Dak did that. Be real. Dak did that. Dak be making something like I don't think people get. I don't think he get, like Dak don't get enough credit for making something out of nothing.
But Dalton looked good over there at the Texans though.
Yeah, but he had his best years with Dak.
But he also like you just said, y'all were talent deficient. So he ended up being what, second, third option on a team where y'all were pass dominant because Zeke was going off the edge.
He wasn't going off the edge. He was getting hurt up. People don't like to talk about that either. He was playing the like.
Hey man, injuries lead to fall off.
When you can suit up, they be like, "Oh, he good." Yo, do y'all not know? Like he played a whole season from week in 2000. What was that? In 2021. Yeah, in 2021, he had a partial T in his knee week 6 and played the rest of the season. Same thing in 2002. Like that boy battle, like to be out there is crazy. Like anybody else sit out, rest up, bro. Nah, he out there making sure that cool. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's not good though.
It's not good though, but you know what I mean? People don't understand the politics that come with the game. Like he got a record-breaking contract. You know what I mean?
But he also listen to what you about to say, T. He got a record-breaking contract. So guess what they would rather him be? Healthy and playing through injury and destroying his body more.
Bro, okay, so if that's the case, why did Trayvon Diggs this past year and the season that we pretty much knew was lost? Why did they have him out there playing on a partially torn knee and then got mad at him when he fucked it up more? And now he's going to be going for even longer because they said he didn't attack his rehab right. They felt as though he didn't attack his rehab right. Then you got CD, who we all know his shoulder was fucked up for the last 8 to 9 weeks of the season, and they didn't shut him down until when? The last game or two? Like, come on, man. Like, let's be realistic. Stop acting like they don't. When you get a lot of money, you get a lot of pressure to play and be out there, regardless of what you're going through. And that's period facts. There's nobody that can.
When you talk to your brother on the phone, tell him, I don't give a damn what Jerry say. Make sure he healthy, because guess what? We not slaves no more, good brother. You pay me millions of dollars to play at 100%.
You know what I mean? It's not necessarily about being a slave. Like, you still want to be out there. Like,
I understand, but I would rather help my team than hurt my team, T. I'd rather be 100%, bro, because guess what? Getting out there, how CD was those last 4 weeks before they said, hey, man, look, we calling it. He was a detriment to himself. He was out there running half routes. He was only able to run on one side of the field. Like, come on.
He was hooping, though. You can't say he wasn't hooping.
Yeah, but the pain he was dealing with, the hoop like that, was unnecessary.
I know.
And now T, what damage did it cause that he had to rehab this offseason? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he probably had to, you know what I mean? I guarantee he went into this offseason to get a little bigger, a little stronger.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
He played well, but it's like it's like wasn't it a game where he like ended up having a drop someone late in the game because his shoulder was killing him, or he couldn't even almost run the route.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to have a player out there like that. This ain't the 90s. Well, I ain't gonna even say slaves. This ain't the 90s no more, where we don't got the technology to understand that we can make players better in a small amount of time too. Like, putting Tarmadol in your arm and saying, "Hey, go out there and get it," ain't cutting it no more.
Yeah, but so they be taking them shots for sure.
It ain't cutting it no more, man. Because these players, man, come on, man. We gotta be healthy on the field. Player safety got to be first again.
You know what I mean? I mean, it is, but it's just like at the end of the day, like they feel as though like if you're able to play, you know what I mean, you feel like you could be out there, you know what I mean, they definitely not gonna stop you. And you know what I mean, they definitely want you to be out there. Like, you know, like I said, like they pay you a lot of money, man. You get that money is just a different thing, you know what I mean? Because then even the fans, you know what I mean, they like, oh, why is he playing? You know what I mean?
Like that year when Lamar got hurt, and they were like, "Oh, Lamar sitting up." Like, this man was hobbling. It's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It just don't be a lot of love for the fans. I mean, a lot of love for the players in that regard for dealing with them injuries and things like that, and how that would be affecting their play. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of guys don't be 100%, but we like, oh, he sucks. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean, they really be going through stuff, but they be out there.
Me and T gonna be tapping. Me and T gonna be tapping in, man. We gonna be talking football. We talk ball. We gonna be doing this more often, man. It ain't always, you know what I mean? The little man back there entertaining too. What's happening, little man? I don't know your name yet.
His name Roman.
Lil Ron, what's happening? He looking right at the screen too. What's up? What you gonna play? What you gonna play a little ball, basketball, football, soccer? Baseball, they getting that bread. Now that baseball bread a little different.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely trying to have him. Hopefully, a lineman. They getting paid now.
They getting paid too. I mean, hey, the board is
D-lineman.
I think I might have been born. I might have been born a few years ago.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Look, I want all my kids to play D-lineman. That shit easy.
But I had asked before you came in. I had asked the crowd. Who do you think so far, if you had to pick one the offseason so far, who's looking the best going into the draft as far as, I ain't gonna, not the top teams, but you know, the teams that's fighting for contention?
Honestly, people hated on y'all moves, but I feel like those was moves that had to be made to make sure that y'all can pay the niggas that y'all gotta pay in the future and solidifying that team. But I like Chicago. I'm about to say I like the move Chicago made.
Listen, because it felt like to me, Ben Johnson came in knowing what he knew from Detroit. Like, hey, we gotta address this offensive line, and we gotta address it now. We can't wait until later.
He want to run the ball, and that's why, honestly, I think if Gentry doesn't go before, I think he goes to the Bears. It makes sense.
Who would draft? Who would take him before though? The Raiders? That's the only team I can see on that board.
Yeah, Raiders. I don't think that they say the Giants, but I don't see I don't got the Giants doing that at the second one.
I mean, they did it before.
But they don't want to pay running back, bro. Like
wouldn't that explain going first round high, get him out the way, you ain't got to pay him in 5 years. You can franchise him twice and move on.
Man, if they operate like that, man, that's crazy.
It wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't be shocking. I mean, it's the Giants.
I hope they better get a quarterback. That's what they need. That's what neighbors want, and that's what he want.
Well, he got 2 quarterbacks.
Oh man, look, that's a quick fix, and I don't even think that's going to turn out right.
I would, if I was Malik, and I wanted to have a career year, I would prefer Jameson over Russ.
Yeah, I like people hate on Jameis. I like Jameis. Always did.
You just gotta stop the turnover. The turnovers get outrageous.
He a gunslinger. He like Brett Favre. I didn't realize how bad Brett Favre was until I started looking at the numbers. Yo, that shit's crazy.
Oh no, he was. But the difference is Brett Favre did it in a different time though.
I feel like that's the worst time, nigga.
But that's why, like, to me, it's more amplified for Jameis, in my opinion.
I feel like
Nobody ever had 30 interceptions in a season, bro.
yeah, that was crazy. But I feel like he was going through a rough time in his life or something. Because yeah, that was wild.
I think after that season, didn't he get the latex?
He might have.
Eye surgery?
Yeah, that might have been what he needed though. Because I know how that is.
Last year, kind of, to me, I thought he played well for like 3 games last year, and then he turned into Jameis of 30 for 30. That's kind of what killed me. I was like, dang, James, like that game against the Broncos, you couldn't tell me James wasn't finna go on a streak of good games. And then he went on a streak of bad games. He was like pick 6 this and pick off that. It's just like, that's what killed me about him.
It's just life in the NFL for real. Like, it's hard. Like, it look easy, but it's hard, man. Like, I don't think people realize that for real. Like, how hard
It's
it is.
hard, but when you the number 1 overall pick, you know what it takes. What's up, Shakita? How you doing, sis?
But he hasn't really been playing for real, and you lose it. Like, practice can only do so much. You know what I mean? Actual
But he
engagement.
started off good though, T. You supposed to start off bad and get good.
I said, listen, hey, they ain't had no game plan for him.
That's what I like about what's that one dude, the astronaut quarterback, Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
His first 2 games without a game plan, he ball out. As soon as they make him play on the structure, he folded up. He turned into an unstrained, unusual quarterback.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Ryan Fitzpatrick used to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Garcia. Jeff Garcia used to come in. He'd give you 3 or 4 games playing pretty good. Then he turned his. You're right. Thinking about it and really evaluating the quarterbacks that really ain't starters. They pretty much got 4 or 5 good games, and then the rest of them kind of mid.
That's all you really could ask for real. Hopefully, your quarterback ain't up too long.
I would want Malik. If I was Malik, I'd say, hey man, Jameis. Because Russ gonna be too conservative.
I don't like Cooper Rush. But he know how to do his job.
Well, he had the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he know how to do his job.
That's a good spot.
It makes sense for it makes sense for the Ravens. But I like but at the same time I understand it because like I said, he know how to do his job. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just know how to get the ball out of your hand. You're not taking sacks.
He don't turn into a regular quarterback till he play us.
Hey, yo! I don't know what it is, bro. You just see green and just throw it to it. Like,
man, that boy be having breakout seasons that he plays. Like, what happened to Cooper?
Yo, like what? Like, bro, like, did you forget how to play the game, bro? But I don't know, bro.
Who y'all backup now is then? Y'all got rid of Trey.
Joe Milton. That's gonna be the backup or
Joe, yeah.
Or Will Greer, whoever won that battle.
Real Greer been on y'all roster like 18 times. Dude ain't getting no backup job.
Yo, people be hating on Will, bro. Will hoop a little bit, bro.
Will Greer got traded to the Patriots. He was on the Eagles. Like, dude been on like 18 squads and still been on y'all squad.
You know what I mean? Like Chase Daniel. But you know what I mean? Chase Daniel was all right too, bro. Like, niggas hate on him too.
Stop it.
Listen. I was just having
that man robbed us, bro.
He did. Free lick. Free lick.
Dude was buns.
But no, like
he was good for his job. Like if we would have paid him to be a clipboard holder and you know what I mean, say what he's seen on the side, you know, on the pad, cool. But him playing football, nah.
No,
him and Dan Orlowski is good as what they do right now. They TV personalities.
But like fucking the best way I can put it is like how he explained it, like, you know what I mean, when he was talking about it on the facility a little bit. He kind of touched up on it a little bit. Like, yeah, man, like a lot of it don't be the talent, bro. It be the mental, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like people like regardless, you know what I mean, of the game, you'll be going through real life things, and that affects your play. You know what I mean? You might not be on the game plan as well as you should be, and it's not like the NFL is not like high school and college. Like it's really on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's really on you to like, yeah, we gonna do our little walkthrough on Thursday and whatever. But it's really on you. Like I was just having a conversation with somebody when we were talking about the playoff performances, and I was trying to explain to them like, you know how like when we were Bucks before the game, we going through walkthroughs and we going through the game plan. It ain't none of that in the league. You just show up to the stadium.
We're gonna warm up for the game starting, and we're gonna walk back in and we're gonna walk back out.
We're gonna refresh the game plan. We're gonna do the same thing as Thursday's practice. Refresh the game plan, go through everything. The Cowboys don't do that, bro. It's all on them. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like that for other organizations or how if it's coaches or whatever the case. No, them boys.
Money invested now, though. T.
Hmm?
Millions invested now.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's simple coaching for me. We're gonna make sure niggas is on the game.
You know what? You know, I was a little different because Jeff Stoutland. You look it up on Twitter. Jeff Stoutland pregame. He got them boys out there running real blocking drills.
Yeah, bro.
It ain't no just come out here. Nah, we going through it. We really get in the trenches.
You gotta you know what I mean. You gotta be prepared, and you know what I mean. When you're not, mentally prepared, you damn sure not gonna be physically prepared. So it's just like, you know what I mean, and that affects your play. You know what I mean. You going into the season barely, you know what I mean, barely in shape. You know you're not gonna be good for your team. You know what I'm saying. Especially as a backup, you know you go into the season, you're not even finna play. So you know what I mean? Like if you're not dedicated to your craft, you know what I mean, all that shows. All that shit's gonna show. That's why, you know what I mean, it all gotta be one common goal. And you know what I mean, everybody gotta be on the same wavelength as far as coaching, leadership, and all of that. And that's what I be saying the mission in Dallas. But I think that's what Shotty gonna bring though. Because like he's preaching that family bonds, you know what I mean, play for each other, like you know what I mean, how it's supposed to be.
I just felt like when I looked at his resume, I'm like, he been in the league a long time.
Everything ain't about resume.
Huh?
See, what do you see when you see his resume? And I'll tell you what I see.
He came in the league, if I'm not mistaken, 1997.
Mm-hmm.
He's been an offensive coordinator for multiple organizations.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in and out of the NFL. It's not been consistent, just NFL, if I'm not mistaken. But it just felt like he got stuck in a bunch of places where he didn't get the opportunity. So I'm not gonna judge him off opportunity because if you look at Sirianni before he got hired for the Eagles, he didn't have an opportunity to be a head coach. So I can't judge that. It just felt like it was a long stretch of coaching without somebody being like, "Hey, let's promote you to the job."
For the most part, he wasn't even. I think he said. I think from what I had read, the last job that he had like really tried to get as a head coach was that New York Jets job with Rex Ryan when he had got that job, and then he ended up becoming the offensive coordinator. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Pete Carroll probably said it the best. What I mean, and that's what made me kind of like say, yeah. Before I even met him, like, okay, I kind of like what Pete said right there. You know what I mean? Being able to like take from different guys, and you know what I mean, be able to orchestrate that into what you're doing. And he was able to do that in Seattle, and they were successful. So like, if he can bring that same type of mentality to the Cowboys, you know what I mean, just you know what I mean, bring that extra, you know what I mean, that motivation. Like bro, everybody talk good about this man, bro, from players to coaches to execs, anybody, reporters, anybody who meet him, bro. He talk about God, being a God, faith, you know what I mean, family, being close to one, like, you know what I mean, when you being led by somebody like that, like you ain't got no choice but to rub off on people, you know what I'm saying? And then it go furthermore, you know what I mean, you want to play for somebody like that, you know what I mean, and play hard for them. So I just think he gonna definitely be able to get everybody to buy in, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the first step. regardless of talent. That's the first step. Getting everybody to buy in. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's going on in the locker room, everything ain't gonna be peachy all the time. But if everybody bought in, we all on one accord, we all on one path, one goal, y'all gonna be successful. Like y'all.
The biggest obstacle is Jerry, though.
Nah, bro. Jerry cool, bro. Jerry cool in my book. I ain't gonna lie. Jerry cool in my book.
But Jerry is a clown. He is not now. Take the allegations away. He is the P Diddy of the pastime. As far as like he want to be everywhere, he want to be like the main person. You see Jerry on everything. Jerry on the radio, Jerry on TV, Jerry in interviews. Jerry got something to say when nobody else care what Jerry got to say. Jerry gonna say something, and I think that's sometimes like a little too much, and that could be even part of the mental you was just talking about. Like I'm listening to my owner basically like get on the stage and say all the shit you kind of you want us owner to say it a little bit, but some of that stuff you be like, come on, sit down, Jerry, you ain't gotta say that.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, you gotta look at it from his perspective. Like that's what I do. I ain't gonna lie. I try to look at things from both sides. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? For a long time, you know what I mean? I looked at it like that too. Like, you know what I mean? But when you look at it from his view, like he built this shit.
Nah, he the greatest NFL businessman promoter ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know what I mean? He built this shit. And then not only that, but like he kept it 100% in the family. Though nobody got here at the Cowboys.
Just be an owner. Let somebody come in and do the other job.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. I mean, I can't disagree. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only thing I'm saying. Like as an owner, I can't argue. He bought that team for scrum, right? For peanuts. It's $1 billion corporation. It's probably, if I'm not mistaken, top 2 teams as far as value goes. Like he did what he's supposed to do as far as flipping it. When you talk about business, sales, making money as an owner, nobody does it better than Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the Donald Trump of business in the NFL.
Now take that very same logic and apply it to football.
But he can't.
We can.
He can't.
We can.
No, he can't.
Yeah, I can.
He showed you he can't. Jerry has showed you his philosophy in business does not lead to more championships.
Listen.
Hold on, Elena. I'll give you my safety choice in 2 seconds.
That's because we ain't had a coaching. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not gonna do that, T. No,
I'm being real. Listen. Hey, Smitty, word is bomb, bro. We is not about to sit here and say,
bro, y'all went 24-10. What? No. 36-15 in 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's good coaching.
That's not good. Listen, that's being good. That's being good. That's being better than a lot of teams. That's being better than a lot of teams. That's all it is.
36-15 is.
We were better than a lot of teams.
Coaching, bro.
We were better than a lot of teams.
The problem,
Smitty, listen to me. Look, I wouldn't tell you no lies, bro. I wouldn't tell you no lies. Look, let me tell you why. Listen, think about it like a undisciplined high school. We gonna beat. We talented as hell. But we're gonna be able to beat. We're gonna be able to beat on the people we need to beat on. But when it come time to face a bully just like us, we don't ever have the coaching. We getting out coached, we getting outplayed, all of that. But it starts with the coaching though. Like we go from being out coached to outplayed because them niggas give up. We watch it. We get out coached, outplayed, and give up. We watch it.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna answer this question. Elena, you want me to give you my choices in order? All right, Malachi Starks obviously won best safety in the draft. Number 2, Kevin Winston Jr. is my number 2.
Penn State.
Number 3, Nick Rory, South Carolina. And number 4 is a toss-up for me. Because everybody want me to say Xavier Watts. But I like Andrew Makuba.
I'm about to say him. Bull from Bama, right?
Malachi Moore.
Yeah.
But we got choices at safety. Like everybody in my fan base is like, it's Malachi Starks or bust. And I'm like, if dude don't fall out the top 15, how are we not moving that far?
These DBs is deep this year. Low key.
It is. I like Trey Amos too, bro.
Yeah.
But we got like one of my homeboys today, we was talking and I was like, I like Kevin Winston Jr. It's probably just the injury right now that made me like a little skeptical. He went down the rabbit hole because he hadn't really tapped in. He hit me up and was like, Smitty, I just found my new favorite player in the draft. I was like, I told you not to watch that tape. That boy nasty.
People be sleeping on Penn State, bro. We got some demons. We could do demons.
Hey T, you a hold on now. I know you cheer for one team. What was your team before that team? That you always been a Cowboys fan?
Yeah. Always been a Cowboys fan, man.
Dang, I thought we was like gonna have like this heart to heart. You gonna be like, nah, but you know.
English fans, listen, shut all that shit down right now, man. My dad's a Cowboys fan. My uncle's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Cowboys. We do got English fans in my family, but they're on my mom's side. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, I had already kind of like killed the narrative the other day. I was like, because everybody was in the space like trying to say like y'all was Cowboy. I'm like, no, they Cowboy fans. They're not Eagle fans. They got too much hate for the Eagles to be Eagle fans. You could tell. You would know that they're Eagle fans.
We grew up in Pennsylvania, not too far from Philly. We're a lot of fans. Yeah, it's a lot of
Penn State fans. Penn State fans.
Yeah,
that's Eagle fans. You a Sixer fan?
Yeah, I like the Sixers. Grew up on AI, man.
Sad.
Man.
The process has been sad. I'm sorry.
Man, like I told you, the process was over when they signed Tobias Harris and let Jimmy Butler go. That was the process right there. It went with Jimmy Butler.
D Shift, what's good, man? What's good, man? He was hollering at you, T.
But
nah, man. Y'all in the interesting spot though. What y'all at? 14? No. Y'all at 11.
12.
12.
And you know what? The last time we picked that 12.
What was it? Michael?
Yup. Something special happened.
Who traded you that? Who traded you that pick?
Hey, we could have took him at 10.
But who traded you the pick? You ain't have to say what you could have did at 10. Who traded you the pick?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, Philly did that, but
all right, so at 10, you know what I mean? I got Smitty.
Everybody won, you know what I mean? Everybody won.
Hey, D Shift, man. Listen, man. The congratulations to me. Honestly, I told somebody today, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Winning the Super Bowl is kind of boring. You win, you hire, you buy all this memorabilia to enjoy the Super Bowl, and then you like, nobody wants to be my friend. It's lonely at the top, bro. Like you, like no troll. I used to be in spaces, right? And they'd be like, Smitty, come up here and talk about the Eagles and you know what happened last year and why. I come in spaces now, and they show complete disgust. They be like, the Eagles in here, bro, man. All right, let me see what bro want to talk about. Like, bro, I ain't even come to talk about the Super Bowl. I can't even talk about real football. I like football. I like all 32 teams and what they got going on in the offseason because I can cheer for everybody. Even though I want to see the Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders fail. I like it though. But winning the Super Bowl made me more hated than I already was. I was the most hated team already. I'm even more hated now.
No, it's y'all fans. They don't even be the team. It's y'all fans. Y'all fans ruin it. Like, I don't hate the Eagles. I like the players on the Eagles.
See, what did you expect from us? We went from when was the Super Bowl? 65? It started in 65, 69, somewhere there. It was in the 60s. Okay, we went from the 60s to 2017 being called the Ringless Bandits. Yeah. What did y'all expect when we got one?
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, honestly, it don't even be that. Honestly, it be the fan and that's for any fan base. You know what I mean? It just y'all got a lot of them, and like I understand riding with your team, riding with your quarterback, riding with your players. I get that shit. I really do. But when I'm trying to talk real football, bro, just keep it. You know what I mean? Real football. Like there's no I just don't understand how you can watch football every Sunday the way you claim or whatever, or watch certain players and then be like, oh, because he's winning, he's better. There's just it don't work like that. I'm sorry, it just don't work like that. You know what I mean? It just don't work like that.
Are you gonna talk about? Are you gonna talk about him?
I'm dead as fuck.
Not him.
him.
Not him.
Him.
I know you're not talking about him.
Yeah, him. But
Hold on. Let me address him.
Him. I like him. Him.
Listen.
I like him.
Listen. I had an argument today, and I don't really argue Jalen Hurts no more because I just told somebody this today, and it's real as hell. Look, you look at the stats, you're not gonna win the argument. There's no argument I'm winning when I look at his stats and say, hey, he had 2,900, he had 18 and 5, he had 700 rushing, whatever, right? I ain't gonna win that battle. I'm not gonna win it because guess what? You're gonna bring up 4,000, 40, whatever. Okay, cool. What I can't argue is in the playoffs, when it counts, he turned into what he needed to be. Now, T, you gonna laugh at this, right? In the playoffs, do you know what his completion percentage was in the second quarter? I mean, the second half, 88%. You know what it was in the fourth quarter? 90%. So when it come time to play ball in the biggest moments, him,
yeah.
All
that shit sound good, right? All that shit.
It don't sound good. He playing. You're not gonna bring up who I have on my team because I did.
No. Like we all know that's a great team, but that's part of it. But another part is you said there's a reason why you're saying percentages. Talk to me about attempts. Talk to me about
playoffs. In the playoffs, if you want to talk about attempts, I think he was second or third in attempts. Now, regular season attempts this year, 32nd.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm saying like just attempts in the third or fourth quarter.
Look at that. He was balling, bro. You can't. T, I know you want to hate because you got Dak Prescott. You know what I mean?
But listen, one thing, bro. I can never hate, bro. Like that's one thing about me. Like people think what I say, I'm hating, bro. No, I'm just being real. Now, when I've never meaningly said that nigga is ass. Obviously, I know he's not ass. You know what I'm saying?
But you got Jalen Hurts ranked that though.
Huh?
Well, you got Jalen Hurts ranked
by player or quarterback.
However you want to put it.
If we talking about Jalen Hurts a player, yeah, he top 10. If we talking about Jalen Hurts a quarterback, he middle of the pack.
No. I can't agree with that. TC, I thought we was going somewhere. T.
I can't win. Win. That's the best way I could put it, bro.
Now if we want to say, if you say,
now we can get in depth.
I don't even listen. I wouldn't even agree with you as player. Him being like,
no, like I'm talking about all, like when I say
everything, all intangibles, everything. Like that's why I put him in the top 5 situation.
No, you listen. I feel
quarterback. Listen, you don't really want to like who you go like honestly. Okay, you already said Dak 5. No. So Pat, Josh, Joe, and Lamar is who you have in front of that. I'm only listen. I don't got Jalen Hurts like top 3 right now.
You know why I put it?
But I'm gonna give you Pat.
I'm crazy.
I'm gonna give you Joe. We gonna argue Lamar. We gonna argue Josh. We arguing that.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. I don't know if I could trust them in clutch moments the way I could trust Jalen to get the job done.
Listen, I feel you on that, but you say yeah, but look at
what? Look at what?
Team that matters.
Are you serious? Bruh, listen. You're not gonna do that. No, Josh Allen had a team. He 0-4 against Pat Mahomes. He got big belt. You can't do that, T. He had one of the most perfect teams and got beat in 13 seconds.
Listen to me. That's football. You know what I mean? He went up against one of the greats. It's not about him at that point. It's not about him.
You gonna bring up who went against one of them greats? We gonna talk.
Oh my gosh. Please do not do this. That team,
and y'all took away the guy that said he carried me to the Super Bowl. They took Saquon Barkley out the game, and Jalen Hurts still performed just as good.
Did you play football? You coach,
yes, sir.
You coach.
Yes, I play it and I coach. Yes, sir.
Now you know, so then you should know when I say this that team has a lot to do with that. You can't tell me it don't. When now, hold on, because I want to put it in context now. Because say you see his struggles right now. You see his struggles as a passer. Like you can say top 3 passer, whatever. You see his struggles. I don't care what you're talking about. You watch the same games that I watch. And like I said, I'm not a hater. You see the same struggles that I see. And I don't even want to point out no flaws. That's what I'm going to say struggles. You see the same struggles that I see. Now imagine if that team wasn't as good. What would he look like? Like, be real.
2021.
And look what he looked like. That wasn't good.
We made the playoffs, and he threw for 3,000 yards.
That was a bad team that made the playoffs.
We just didn't listen. The problem with that team in 2021, we didn't have somebody that could be dynamic with the rock. If we had, it was a lot of those plays where Jalen Hurts got bro. Think about who our wide receiver 2 was that year. Jalen Reagor was wide receiver 2 with Devontae Smith and Greg Ward. He performed well under those circumstances because I don't know where people get the perception of AJ Brown was always here or something, but we played without him. And he had some dynamic games in that series. But guess what?
Because Devontae Smith had him and Devontae.
Hold on. T, look. We were supposed to have been a 12-win team that season. We played the Giants, right? 2 times, right? Jalen Reagor dropped 2 game-winning passes in both of those games. We beat the Saints, and then we go to play.
Our schedule was shitty.
We played the next game we played.
Our schedule was shitty.
What's it called?
We played a shitty schedule.
Greg Ward has the game of his life, and Jalen Reagor, like, bro, we were in wide receiver purgatory, bro. Like we had JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Don't act like Smitty wasn't out there.
Smitty was a rookie.
He was a Heisman winner.
When did we give rookies as somebody that was in? Man, come on, bro. We ended up, bro. We started 2-7. Hold on, look, T. We started 2-7. They put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands like they should have from the jump. 9-8.
Look who y'all were playing, and his running ability is a factor. We're not about to act like it's not. It's a factor that wins games. Crucial.
We went to the playoffs with nobody.
The crucial moment. A lot of the crucial moments be his running plays. Am I lying?
Nah. I say it's like 50-50. Bro, no. Listen.
No. He be having some dots. I can't say he don't be having no dots. I can't. I don't like
when you say quarterback. When you say he middle of the pack, and I believe like I'm not gonna be like a troll and be like, this and that. I ain't gonna say he like elite at this, elite at that. But when it comes to like passing the ball, 25 plus. Best in the game. Ain't nobody fucking with Jalen on the deep ball. Nobody.
No. Stop the cap.
Nobody.
Stop the cap.
No. Listen, I'll give you short. I'll give you cross the middle. I'll give you 15 and under. I'll give you 15 to 25. But when they go over 25, ain't nobody fucking with Jalen.
Stop the cap.
Nobody.
Stop the cap.
Mr. Dottie.
Stop
Mr.
the cap.
Dottie. Ooh.
Stop the cap.
Who is beating Jalen in the deep ball?
You give you a crazy statistic that you said that? Like, y'all have great weapons. Y'all have great weapons on the outside. So
I could have told you nobody fucking with him from the pocket, and I give you a statistic where he number one in multiple categories since 2022 inside the pocket. Hello?
Are you gonna be successful with a clean pocket? You should be right with those weapons, right?
Oh man. Okay. You said all these quarterbacks better than Jalen. So do they need what Jalen needs to win?
It'll be a lot easier.
Do they need what Jalen needs to win?
Yes.
So then where does that put Jalen if he actually had it and won? It's other teams that's had what I've had.
Come on.
Dak had what I had.
Fuck no.
What?
Fuck no.
Zeke?
Fuck no.
Yes.
I will spaz the fuck out,
bro.
Smitty.
Y'all had.
You better act like you know before I get up and walk out this bitch. You better act like you know.
Y'all had.
Smitty,
What was this?
name one time, Smitty, name one time in your natural born life that we had a AJ Brown, a Devontae Smith, a Dallas Goedert with the best O-line in the league, with the best running.
What was it? 2017?
Y'all just had the best running back performance of all time.
2017? 2018? What year was that?
No. 2016.
When y'all had 10 sacks, 2,000-yard receivers, 13 plus 100-yard running back, 4,000-yard passing. What year was that?
Let me tell you what's wrong with that graphic. Outside of the 10 interceptions, every team in the league has one.
I didn't have a 10-sack guy last year. And I won a Super Bowl. Listen, bro, you had a team. Don't do that to me. Like now, if you want to say the coaching staff failed you, as you have said, okay, cool. But y'all had teams, bro.
Bro, I was the first one to tell you that we were better than a lot of teams. But being better than a lot of teams don't mean we good enough to win a Super Bowl, bro.
Now y'all had on that team. Was it Amari Cooper?
Yep.
Dez Bryant?
No,
not Dez. It was Amari Cooper. It was CD.
Second year CD.
I don't give you no pass once you pass that rookie season. We can't. You locked in. You locked in. Year 2, you locked this. Hey, year 2, we ain't giving no passes. All right. You had who was the tight end that year? Was it Dalton? No. It was Witten. It was still Witten and Schultz, wasn't it?
You talking about 2016? Or you talking about
2016 or 2017?
Oh, no. The demographic you're talking about was 2021.
Okay. So now it's Dalton Schultz, Zeke.
Yep.
And then let's not even get into the defense, bro. Come on, bro. Micah,
that's it.
Trayvon, D-Law. Is Hendon Hooker on? No. Hooker on that team. Yes.
No.
21. He ain't on the team.
He came after that.
Okay.
No. I think he was. I think he might have was, or he might have.
Like, bro, y'all had a stick. Come on, man. You can't do that.
We had a good team, bro.
Y'all had what we had last year, bro.
We didn't. Fuck no.
No. Okay, so what would you say? What player would you say beats the other player?
We just to put it in context, we haven't had a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs since 2018.
You also, isn't it a stat where you also haven't given the ball over 15 times in the playoffs too?
Huh?
isn't there a stat where you haven't handed the ball over 15, handed the ball off over 15 times too, or something like that in the playoffs?
No, I think no running back getting more than 15. Yeah, not one.
Yeah,
running
yeah.
back.
No running back had over 15 carries in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's when I agree with your argument right there. That's the part where I'm like, I can't argue that because that is scheme. That is coaching. Because you have to call the plays to get the players involved. So right there, I can't argue. I can't do nothing but say, yeah, you was right about that. Because getting in the playoffs, even us, getting in the playoffs, if I would have seen a game where Saquon Barkley didn't have at least 20 carries, I would have spazzed out.
Yeah.
Spazzed out.
I did, man.
So get in the playoffs with Zeke and he don't have 20 carries. I mean, I get it. I get that part.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
y'all did have Jordan Lewis on that. Man, that was a stick, bro.
Jordan Lewis was not back then. Was not what he was right now. So don't do that. Don't do it. Don't.
Y'all getting? Hey, listen. If y'all get Ted or Emeka Ibuka in this draft, T. I don't want to hear no excuses, T.
You ain't going first of all.
Because you know what you heard. You know what you told me at the beginning of this.
What?
Offensive line was good. You need
I said it
play.
was good enough. But I said it was good. I said it was good enough.
You said you need play makers.
Makers, yes. Weapons, yes. That's what
We talking D shift. We talking about 2021. So I mean,
yeah,
he was there. Jordan Lewis was there, and he was 4 years in, 3 years in. Oh yeah, he was balling.
Now look, you're a liar. You're a liar now because you know what, Jordan. You're a liar now because you know what. We want to go back and look at these games in 2021. What teams was doing to us in terms of the passing game. You know what's crazy?
But y'all had a good season 2021, bro. Y'all went crazy.
We were better than a lot of teams. But if you go look at I keep like I tell people, this is the best way I can break it down. If you look at an NFL schedule, on average, you're playing about 6 playoff teams. So if you're playing
Didn't you put like 60 on the Commanders that year?
No.
It wasn't a game where y'all went like. It was either 50 or 60, one of the two.
2023. You think about 2023? 2023, we was blowing niggas out. 2021, we smoked the Vikings 40-3.
Y'all didn't beat them like 56 something. I don't know. I don't remember. Shit. Maybe I am the wrong year.
We had a bunch of the Colts. But then we put like 50 something on the Colts. But like I said, like in the playoff, like when we're playing bad teams, that's what we're trying to get across to people. When we're playing bad teams, we capitalize. Our defense shows.
Yeah, y'all beat the Commanders Christmas, the day after Christmas, 56-14. I had to go find that.
21?
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, we own them.
Smashed them. Y'all smashed the Falcons. I mean, y'all smashed. I mean, I ain't gonna care about the Giants, but y'all was smashing teams, bro.
We were better than a lot of teams.
I gotta see this wrong.
Then go look who we got smashed by.
Who you got smashed by? You didn't get smashed. Every game y'all lost was close. Look, y'all lost to the Cardinals by 3, Raiders by 3,
Yeah,
lost to the Chiefs by 10, Broncos by 14, and you lost to Bucks by 2.
Smitty, you looking at the end result. Come on, man. You know Dak a warrior. He's not going out like that.
No, I know he like to play to the end of the game. And
go click on the games and see what the games is looking like for real. Or if you actually remember watching them. Kyler Murray was fucking us over.
Who?
Kyler Murray was fucking us over. He was doing it bad. He was doing whatever he wanted out there.
Let me see that. I want to see how that game went. Hold on. That's game what? That's the last game of the season, wasn't it? Almost.
Yeah, we were supposed to play them in the playoffs. Had they beat the Rams?
I want to see what that. I ain't really look at that game. I remember it in the back of my head, but
yeah, man, they was doing us bad, bro.
Oh, they was smacking y'all pretty decent.
Yeah,
it was 25-7 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like I said.
Hey, he ain't lie. He ain't lie. They was getting smacked.
Yeah, I'm a real fan. Come on, man. You can't do this with me. I'm a real fan. I do this shit.
Hey, Kyler Murray putting that work on him.
Yeah, I do this shit. What are we talking about? I said, going into that playoffs, I said, outside of Trayvon Diggs, there's a wide open gaping hole. Anybody can throw over there. I said, if we face a team with any more than 2 wide receivers, we're in trouble. I said, the only team that we could beat in that playoffs in 2021 was the San Fran 49ers. And we still let them niggas run all over us and shit. Couldn't get off the field. Let them niggas do whatever they wanted to us.
Hey, y'all,
Go look at that.
That one, man.
Bro, go look at that San Fran game, bro. Go look at how
I watched that whole game. I remember. Y'all had that bad play call in the fourth.
Come on, man. But go look at the game started. We was down 16-0 in the second before we even knew it. And then we just ended the game close. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't be looking at it like that. Like, the defense a lot of the times be giving it up. You can't start off a game where your defense is giving up touchdown after touchdown. That puts so much pressure on the offense to go out there and execute that it ain't fair, bro. And people don't look at it like that. Like, yeah, like, when you get down to possessions, it's hard to want to run the ball. Let's be real. You got to really believe in your run game.
He said, look at how much CD got the ball that year.
21? 21 CD had like 1 catch. Or 2
in the playoffs?
Yes.
That's nasty. That's nasty. 1 catch in the playoffs.
You gotta remember, San Fran had that defense. People sleeping, bro. Both of their defensive coordinators are head coach. Well, they was head coaches. One of them just got fired. Both of their DCs. Go check. You think I'm lying? Go check the stats. In 2022, they're the number 1 defense in the league.
2022, you know what I did to them.
I hurt their quarterback.
That's what I don't care. Guess what? You know what to tell him, T? You know what to tell him? Wrap that motherfucker up next time.
And then you see what happened when they was loaded with a chip on their shoulder. They came and put belt.
And then they went to the playoffs and got belt.
They want to put belt. They want to put belt. That's all.
Come on, bro. We was horrible, bro. We had the worst defense in the league when they gave me belt.
They should have won that Super Bowl. Brock Purdy played good enough to win that.
He ain't played better than Jalen Hurts. In neither one of the Super Bowls.
Listen.
Hey, wait, hold on. I got a question, T. Where you got Spags as a DC?
He like that.
Where you got him at, though? Like, as far as in the league right now, you top 3, top 1? 2?
1.
He won?
1.
Now go find me a bad game that Jalen had against Spags.
Now.
Against number 1.
Now.
And we could go regular season or playoffs.
2022.
What? He had a perfect game. 152 touchdowns. What you talking about? And we won. And he had the walk-off win, too. What about 2020? You want to talk about 2021 when I put up almost 600 yards on him?
That young-ass defense.
Nah, I want to hear that.
Talk about that.
What, didn't they end the season number 1? Didn't they end the season number 1?
No. Not in 2021. No, they didn't.
That was 2022? 3?
That defense, I'm about to say, no, there was in 2021, you remember, McDuffie and them was rookies. Y'all was able to abuse them.
No, McDuffie was a rookie in 22. If I'm not mistaken. Might have been 21. Hold on, though. Jalen Hurts put up damn near 600 on them.
That defense was young.
Like 4 or 5 touchdowns, bro.
Go look at that defense.
You got Spags 1, but my quarterback never had a bad game against Spags, ever.
Look at the team. Y'all had a top 3 roster.
2021?
No, that was 2022.
No, 2021 was the first time Jalen Hurts played Spags. He had like 460 some passing yards, 4 touchdowns, Like he went crazy. He had like 70 rushing yards.
They didn't have no good defense then, though.
They had Spags. They had Spags and they had a decent defense. They won the Super Bowl that year, didn't they? Didn't they?
Offense though.
They won the Super Bowl that year, and they was like middle of the pack. They were like 12 to 14, somewhere in there.
Yeah, they was
Because the next year they went crazy. The next year they had to be like top 2 or 3.
Yeah, they was 3, and then they was number 1, and then I think they was like they been top 3. Yeah, they been top 3.
Hey, listen, man.
But
Spaz don't want to see Jalen no more, man.
Nah, y'all got that team, bro.
Oh, did D-Shift say y'all O-line had 14 penalties?
Oh yeah, San Fran. Yeah, we set a record, playoff record, but that's on deck though. Go look at.
Dak shouldn't have ran that fucking quarterback draw. That's on Dak.
No. But niggas don't talk about this part though, because it was fourth down. It was fourth down with 4 minutes left. Dak off the back of his foot to Cedric Wilson on an all-out blitz, put a dime out there for him off the back foot, and he dropped it in the sun. They had to dive and dropped it in the fail.
Oh, don't talk about drops. Don't talk about drops.
Do
Do you know what happens if Alshon Jeffrey in 2019 season don't drop the ball in the playoffs? I'm back in the NFC Championship game.
Man, why ain't y'all hear Cody Parkey? I just said the same thing.
What? Cody Parkey dropped the ball against who? Green Bay?
No. Missing that kick.
Oh. That's just y'all being cursed, man. You know how I go for the Cowboys, man.
Man, look.
You know what? I love y'all so much, man.
Dez Bryant called it like, man, look. We just be having bad luck.
Nah, that one right there. That one gotta hurt, cuz. That one gotta hurt. That one hurt.
Yeah, that shit hurt. And 2016 hurt. 2016 hurt too.
Green Bay?
Bitch. Yeah, that shit hurt like a bitch.
I thought, hey, look, that was the one and only time y'all been to the playoffs that I was like, they gonna win this game.
Man,
this one should be packed up.
And that's what I'd be like, niggas don't really be looking at the whole picture, because then Dak had weapons. He had a Jason Witten, he had a Dez, but even though Dez was, you know what I mean, he was hurt up that year, but you know what I mean, he came back and he was able to make an impact.
Y'all did Dez dirty.
Cole Beasley, Dez did himself dirty, low key. We can talk about that if you want. But I fuck with Dez, but we have to talk about it off camera.
Oh man, hey D-Shift, come on D-Shift, you going crazy in the comments with yeah. You talking about DeMarco Murray fumbling? Hey man, y'all traded me that bum. I don't want to talk about that dude.
And his fumble hurt us too in that game.
Oh man, we signed that bum. Y'all didn't tell me the dude was trash.
No, y'all put him in a scheme and he didn't match.
Then he went to Tennessee and wanted to revitalize his damn career. Damn that nigga.
Scheme and coaching matters. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, scheme and coaching matters. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at Geno Smith. Like, scheme, coaching does matter. I swear to God.
Look at it's 150 people in here, man. Hey, man, if you haven't yet, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Tap in, man. You don't want to miss it. See, y'all missing good content right now. We hanging out. We talking ball. You know what I mean? We got the little man Rome over there. He hanging out. Shit, man. Y'all got to tap in with us, man. Come on, man. Y'all playing. Man, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Come on. Hey T, man. See, man, we 2 hours in. I wasn't even supposed to be here for 2 hours, man. See what happened? See what happened when you talk ball?
Late, bro. I was like, damn, that was my fault, y'all. Like, I forgot, man. He on the East Coast. I forgot.
Oh, you what, Central?
Yup. So when you had said 6:30, I'm used to somebody putting Eastern. So like when you said 6:30, I'm automatically thinking.
I thought I did put EST.
Did you? I don't know. I don't be remembering it like that, bro. I was on the phone. I was talking to somebody. When you had DM me, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, my fault, Pep. Because it's crazy because I had looked at my deals. I was like, yeah, he said 6:30, bet. Yeah. And I'm like, Central Time.
Hey man, the people fuck with us, man. You see they popped out. Shit, last minute, first minute, they popped out. They here, man. But I gotta go hang out with the kiddos, man, like you. So they can't fit in this small area. So we gotta do this again after the draft when we get the team solidified. Do it, man. We could pop in whenever, man. You know, I fuck with you, bro. I mean, no matter how aggravated you get with these Eagle fans, man, I fuck with you.
Hey, listen, I know there's it's a few real ones out there that, you know what I mean? They know, you know what I mean? When you know ball, it ain't no bias, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm a big fan of some Eagles players, you know what I mean? Big fan. Like, I love AJ Brown. I even like Jalen Hurts, bro. But I just don't like when people talk from ignorance. Like, yeah, bro, he's a good football player on a great team.
He's a great football team. He's a great football player on a legendary team. Listen, I ain't gonna never say we not. I ain't gonna never say our talent isn't stacked. I'm never gonna say that. But guess what? 16 of our 22 starters, we drafted and developed them.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're doing our due diligence as a team. Like we not just going out and being like,
but
let's pick and play.
Y'all offseason acquisitions was the biggest part of your success.
Hey man, you know why? Because y'all knock everything else. If y'all just looked at the retrospect of what we've really done, that offensive line was man-made. We went in the draft outside of Mekhi Becton, made it work.
Oh, I know. Bro,
we doing our thing though. We doing our thing. Y'all better get back in action, because if I have to go, listen. If y'all don't get some talent, I'm gonna go on we have an off season that I go on a show and we do a game by game pick. Don't make me have to pick y'all for 8 wins again.
Hold on, time out. Like,
I picked y'all for 8 wins last year.
When Dak plays a full season,
y'all still will struggle to win 8 games.
No. If Dak plays
if y'all don't get talent, bro, y'all will be an 8-9 team next year, bro.
Listen, if Dak don't get
9-8 at best.
If Dak don't make the playoffs last year, we make the playoffs. If you don't get hurt
Cooper Rush played better than Dak.
No, he didn't.
What was y'all record when Dak got hurt? It was below 500, so don't lie to me, T.
Yeah, but what was the coaching like?
Man, come on, bro. Stop bringing it. Y'all liked it Mike McCarthy until last year.
Listen.
Y'all said it was Kellen Moore. Y'all said it was Mike. Come on, man. Y'all said it was Jason Garrett. Come on, stop.
Listen, Smitty. If I could break it down to you, I would, bro.
I guess we got to do another show then. That means we got to do another show, don't we? Another 2 hours?
I'm about to say, like, all right, I'm going to try to make it real quick. Just put it to you like this. The last time the Dallas Cowboys were top 10 in rush attempts, who was the offensive coordinator?
Kellen Moore.
Bingo. Now let's take that and let's talk about how Mike McCarthy got the job. Mike McCarthy got the job because he said Kellen Moore didn't run the ball enough, especially in crucial situations. So he said we should get rid of Kellen Moore and let me run my own ship. In return, the running game got worse. The offensive line got worse. The weapons got worse. And we're asking Dak to do more with less. That's what I was going.
That's not a Mike McCarthy problem, though.
It's a Mike McCarthy problem because regardless of the situation, you're supposed to coach to the strengths of your team. If I'm looking at my team and I'm saying, damn, I got a running back by committee. I got one receiver. Brandon Cooks is hurt, bro. Brandon Cooks got hurt week 2 against the Giants, bro. So it was just like, no, not week 2. Brandon Cooks got hurt week 4 against the Giants. That very next game against Pittsburgh, we win that game running the ball. The very next week against San Fran, we right back to Dak throwing the ball 40 times a game. And it didn't make no sense because early on, Zeke had 8 carries for like 50 yards in the first half. Guess how many carries he finished with? 10. And it wasn't like we was getting blown up. It was a close game. The whole game. We abandoned coaching, bro. Like that's why I fell off of Mike McCarthy. I felt like not no sabotage shit, but he just was on some. I'm gonna go out the way I want to go out. They not listening to me. They not making the moves that I want because he wanted to keep Tony Pollard. He didn't want Zeke. He wanted to keep Tony Pollard. I think that had a lot to do with that, and he wanted to make a point, and he let our season go down the drain with it. But when Dak got hurt, go look at Rico Dowd's carries. From week 7 to week 18, Rico Dowd had 1,000 yards. Before that, he ain't even had 300. We were the last ranked rushing team in the league. And I'm going to go off of that. That should tell you everything you need to know. When we ran the ball and wanted to run the ball and take a minute to it, we were able to do that. Every time. It was when Dak was out there, we got to throw the ball. He got to earn that money. I'm going to just call it how I see it.
But look, y'all got to tap in with us for the part 2 of this, man. We're going to be doing this again. Hey, man, appreciate you for tapping in. Hey, man, it's almost 200 people here, man. They really wanted to hear it, but look, we had 2 hours and 21 minutes. The kids,
keep going.
The kids is. They said, "Hey, it's time." You said 8:30. But nah, man, we're gonna be back at it soon, man. So, hey, y'all, fuck with us, man. Stay tuned. We're gonna post it on the timeline. We're gonna do this again real soon. Hey, man, love y'all. Peace. Hair grease.
Yo, Philly fam, I'm back.